In addition to forwarding IPv6 packet, the IPv6 routers can also announce prefix length, default gateway, and other important configuration information using neighbor discovery protocol messages, and specifically the router advertisement messages. These messages are very important to let the nodes to configure their global unicast IPv6 addresses automatically. So they know the prefix, generate the interface ID, and generated automatically, and generate the full IPv6 address. Okay, by default these messages are disabled. If you want to enable them, you have to use a global configuration command, which is IPv6 unicast routing. In this lab we will enable the IPv6 unicast routing on router 1, router 2, router 3, and ISP router, and verify these messages, these announcement router advertisement messages working. Okay, now we will start by router 1. So configure terminal. Okay, it is global configuration, so I can run it here. IPv6 unicast routing. Okay, exit and save the configuration. Router 2, configure terminal, IPv6 unicast routing, and save the configuration. Router 3, IPv6 unicast routing. Sorry, first I have to configure the terminal. Then IPv6 unicast routing, and for the ISP router, config terminal, then IPv6 routing, unicast routing, unicast routing, and then save. If you want to disable the unicast routing or IPv6 unicast routing, you just need to add no before. So for disabling, you run the command no IPv6 unicast dash routing. Okay, that's all. Now I will enable the debugging for ICMP network discovery to see whether these messages start are exchanged between the routers. So I will enable the debug for IPv6 ND protocol. Now it is on. Let us see the status of our show IPv6 interface brief. All the interface are up, and now should these messages now exchange between the router. Okay, let us start this machine which has Windows 10 and verify the IPv6 address, whether it is generated or no. The machine now is starting. It may take some time. Of course, disabling the IPv6 unicast routing, I can see that something happened here because I enabled the ND debug. Yes, there is a request. Okay. There is a request for the router solicitation, from the node, and the node is starting now generating its IPv6 address. Let us check it now. Disabling the IPv6 router unicast routing will prohibit the forwarding of IPv6 unicast packet and the configuration of IPv6 protocols, and also disable the router advertisement. So no node will take IPv6 unless you run the IPv6 unicast routing. Let us check the IPv6 in this machine. Okay, here because I enabled the okay, let us check IPv6 ipconfig to say yes. Now I have IPv6 address which is generated automatically because I enabled the IPv6 unicast routing in this router. And here I can see that I still getting some ICMPv6 now neighbor discovery messages. For example, here we can see that this is a neighbor solicitation message, sorry, neighbor advertisement. This is neighbor solicitation message. These messages are enabled after we run the IPv6 unicast routing. So first of all, you need to enable the IPv6 as we did in the last lab. Then you have to run the IPv6 unicast routing in each router. Okay, let us go back to our machine. This is the IPv6. This is the prefix that has been sent by the router, which is router 1 actually. Okay, and this is the interface generated randomly, because Windows 10 is generated randomly, the interface randomly, and combine the interface with the prefix obtained from the router to generate the IPv6 global unicast IPv6 address. Okay, let us, before closing, I want to stop the debugging, so no debug for IPv6 network discovery.